Shit talker black. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching this movie. It is Invaders from Mars, 1953. So the ship crashes, it begins to take people, and then the people are so apathetic, they have no feelings. And the title of the program is Apathy. So I get more and more into the movie. And the little boy, as he runs in there, all they need is a checkerboard floor, and you will see the Mason symbolic whatever. And then I look here, it's 1953, does not have a star. He has an owl. To me, it's just so odd how everything they do, it has to represent something. It's like taking a lot out of your motherfucking day. If I did scenes, which I do scenes, and I had to make everything in the scene to represent something, wow, I don't think I want to do it. I mean, I did a scene, it's have a coconut smile, I had the blues, and when I go out into the, no, not when I go out, but when, the only time I know what's going on in the world, I don't even know there are a lot of fires going on in California, if no one will call to let me know. Let me clean this thing. Now getting back to their scenes, even the clock means something. Not just the time of the clock, but the type of clock. However, as I'm watching this movie, I'm seeing CROWley all over it. But this is 1953. It wasn't made in the year 1953. I don't know. I didn't go to see yet, and I may not. But 1953 is in the title, and the title of the program is Apathy, and this is what those who have got caught up in the little Martian game, in the movie, they come back and they have no feelings whatsoever. And so I say, this is some CROWley bullshit. And that's what's going on right now. Your child, you may meet someone, may go somewhere, or especially when you send them to school, there's really the Martian spaceship. When you send your child to school, and then your child come home, and your child is kind of apathetic toward you, like doesn't care about your feelings, in a sense of a way. They no longer care for their siblings. Before they went to school, they were best friends, they played all the time. No one came crying to say, oh, such and such hit me, until one or both or all begin to go to school. Then they come home, and all they want to do is fuss and fight and bicker. That's some CROWley bullshit. That's the mind control. This movie, all the movies are nothing but programs. In the beginning of the movie, you see the man and the lady, they don't sleep in the same bed. They have separate beds. If you missed that part, didn't pay attention, because we all are programmed to know, even when we are children, our parents do not have separate beds, but yet on TV they show the separate beds. So they make you to know, because the guy, he gets ready to go somewhere, and the lady, she jumps from her bed to his to ask a question. And then that was a program of separation. Do you really think that they had them to sleep in separate beds for our sake, so that, our children, or me as a child, if I saw this movie as a child, you really think they care? That they don't put it in our heads that male and female sleeps together, when we as children know our parents sleep together. That was a separation program. A separation from who? A separation program made by whom? The Martians. They even tell you here, the Martians came down. They have so many things. Invasion of the Martians. Invasion of the Martians. My favorite Martian. Because they know they come from Mars and they are Martians. And then there was a guy, a pink guy too. He has a page. He calls them Martians also. And he's pink. And he talks about them similar to the way I talk about them, but and the same. You know, he says different things about them, but he tells the truth about them. And now they are police. They made it their business to show police on the car. So you can see POLICE. That's what you see. But I see police. You know, they leech out the beans, you know, the earthlings. They leech off of them. That's how they get paid. But that's how your judges, your presidents, everyone, government, everyone gets paid off of your back. All the wars are done from the back of the people. And that's what they are. They're the people. They're now no longer earthlings. They're no longer even beings. They'll now become people. And they do just as they are told to do. Without even knowing, they are told to do it. Police are police. The leech off of the people. That's how they get paid down. Whether he has an owl, it's supposed to represent some Illuminati bullshit. Someone naming here is William. Illuminati is written all over the name, the word, the whatever, William. Now, if your name is William, don't take this personally, because I'm not actually talking about you. I'm talking about how they play the game with words. There are words inside words. And then they use words to cover up another word. Like to use the word draw. You use the word draw inside another word. That word can also be drew, as though you already drew it. But they put it as though it was already drawn. You see their words? They like to play games. This is a word war, neuro-linguistic programming on your mind, and also the movies and televisions, if you do not pay attention. So, getting back to why I turned my camera on. When I say this as Aleister Crowley all over it, Aleister Crowley is supposed to be dead by 1953. It depends on who wrote it or who's reading, you know, who you read or whatever. One says he died in 1941, as another says he died in 47. This is 53. 6 years later, if my calculation is correct. Now, so I said, this is Aleister Crowley shit written all over it. This is 1953. Aleister Crowley, he really did not die. That's why there's a mix-up in the years. And also, the mix-up in the years, they also mean something like the 4 and the 5 is the foundation. The 4 and the 1, he died in 1941. The 4 is for foundation. The 1 is for the only one, the B666, him. Then they say he died in 47. 7 and 4 is 11, which that will take you still back to the sun. See, here's the 1. If another one comes along, then it will have to be a 2. But they still wrote 11 because 11 is your son. That's Aleister Crowley. The person in the movie, the name is William Son. You see. Wow. I like watching the movies and cracking the codes. It's fun. So, since they said it's Aleister Crowley, and he really did not die. He went on to be Kennedy's dad, you know. And then I said, Kennedy's dad. What was Kennedy doing in 1953? So I went to see. But before I go to show you that, it is Dallas Goldberg. He has his on his page. He has everything about Kennedy on his page. However, I do, if my memory serves me correct, he has a video that says there's no such thing as Aleister Crowley. There never was an Aleister Crowley. Maybe there wasn't, because his name was Alexander. And who knows if his last name was Crowley. He changed the first, he changed the last, they changed every fucking thing in the world. They are Martians. And they landed way before 1953. It's just that 1953 they began to tell us, or 1953, this movie, they decided to tell us. You know, I don't know, the movie is 1953. It is just the title of the movie, and a 5 and a 3 is Aleister Crowley, and Aleister Crowley's wisdom, knowledge, and the comprehension of Aleister Crowley's wisdom and knowledge. And you put 5 and 3 together, you get life, which again will take you back to the sun. The S-O-N, the sun, like the Williams son. Although they had a daughter, not a son. It's so funny how they do shit. So now, since Aleister Crowley goes to be JFK's dad, which well, anyway, I don't remember how I came across the knowledge. It was, you know, some months back, maybe even a year ago, who knows. Anyway, I went to see what he was doing. So it comes up to September 12, 1953. And even these numbers mean something for a reason. You know, like September 11th, but he was September 12, 1953. His life started with his wife. The wedding of John F.K. and Jacqueline Bouvier. But see, she has the 13 and the 13. And it's in color. I guess they put it in color. But it was something else. Yeah. JFK, Adolf Hitler. So I thought, if Aleister Crowley went to be JFK's dad, then JFK would have to be Hitler, right? And don't say, oh, Hitler looked like this, JFK looked like that. They can make a pink female look like a melanated monkey. Just remember that. They already showed the movie Face Off. Although this movie, 1953, the Martians, invaders from Mars. They came and made everyone apathetic. They can change your face. They can make you look like whatever you want to look like. They said that Aleister Crowley was a man of many faces. And so is York, Malakazi York. It's almost every time I see him, he looks like someone else. Especially when he went to court. He seemed to be so much shorter. And his hair, did someone put a weave in his hair to make him have braids? Because his hair is so short. He appears to be very short when he went to court. And not as slim. His face was different. But hey, I don't know him from scratch, so I just leave it alone. Now, I said, when I thought of Crowley, I thought of JFK having to be Hitler, who is Crowley's son. Let me see, this is what I was doing. You see? Why I watched the movie? Books of any sizes. See? Even a book that can go to your doll's purse. You know? First, break all the rules. Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. Let me move you just a tidbit. No. Quotes. Did JFK really say Hitler is one of the greatest men? Hitler is one of the greatest men. The old us. The old trust him. The old trust him. The old who? Those from the old school. The old school was dealing with Illuminati, and then Illuminati, then they had Jesuits, who are called perps today. A Jesuit can be anyone. Anyone. You don't know. The young idolized him. Wow. The young idolized Hitler, did they? So Hitler is a form of an idol, a god. And look, his name is Hit. Wasn't this guy, JFK, a white man? For we Hit? It is the worship of a national. When you say Illuminati, you will, at the end, you will get N-A-T-I. They left off the O-N. It is to fool you. It is illumination, which means it is a ill nation, a ill nation of men. The men are ill, and they belong to this nation called Illuminati. Nati, like NATO, like they can just not see, they can just fucking kill you or do whatever the fuck they want to do to you. Now it is national hero who has served his country. So is they saying JFK is a national hero or is Hitler a national hero? It really doesn't matter, because Hitler and JFK, they are the same people. And do you know this nigga is still alive? If you go to Dallas Goba Babes, he will tell you JFK today is Carter. Why do you think his name is Carter? C-A-R. They're going to keep that shit going. They wonder who will come after Carter. And also his wife is Jackie, whatever her name was. And she never was a Jackie Onassis, because she never was a widower. It was all a game to fool us. Just like the movies. So much of that shit that is real. Like Hitler is real. Is it real? Is reality? Is it? Is it? And it's November 18th. That is the day my son Samson was born. You know, he disappeared off Facebook. My son went to get in touch with him because we had not heard from him. And then all of a sudden my son went out the next morning, my son's page had disappeared. Then he went to try to find Samson's page had disappeared. So he said, I haven't tried to find it though. But Samson is missing in action. Oh yeah, Nadana, he got 5 years in prison. Because that's what they want to do. That's what the Martians came to do. You have the Muslims, you have the Nawabus, and you have the Israelites, and you have any other one of us from different walks of life who have wanted to get away from the program or have found their way out of the program, but they just drag you back in. You know, like the cancers, what the fuck are those damn things, you know? Crabs in a barrel, you know? And it says, but the former United States President John F. Kennedy once admired who? Appears to have retained an extraordinary fascination for Hitler, because he himself is Hitler and he is still alive. But it doesn't matter, you know, because I don't matter. I can tell you whatever the fuck I want to tell you, but I don't matter. So I was reading this. The realist report, JFK on Adolf Hitler. Wow, did I find so many codes? But I'm not going to read it actually with a code. It says, given I'll be attending the conference in Santa Barbara, California. You see that? Santa and Barbara? Kind of funny. They're brothers and sisters. Aleister Crowley's children. In Santa Barbara, California, CIA. No, that's the only one code I'm going to do. This coming Friday, commemorating the 50th observance of the assassination of President JFK Kennedy. So 50 years later, they're still commemorating his death, and he's not even dead. But I better not say shit about slavery, because I'm supposed to forget about that, Oh, forget about that, it's over. Wow. I guess it's over because it's like over 400 years ago, huh? And his is just 50, so they can still lie to you about what's going on. Even the one who went, he's been lied to. Kennedy is not dead. Now they want to kill my battery. That's okay. Once it comes back, I'll come back. So I decided to delve into some JFK research the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I know. I recently read Final Judgment, The Missing Link in the JFK Assassination Conspiracy. I didn't have to do that. I found Dallas Goldberg a good while ago, 2011 I think, written by the legendary author and historian, and his name is Michael Illuminati, you see, ILL, but they hide it around Collins, which is Coins, and his name is Pippa, which thoroughly documents the role Israel's Mossad, there's the word sad to make everyone sad, and Moss, and the International Criminal to make you sad and cry, who? The CIA, led by the Jewish gangster. This guy, his name is Lansky. So he owns the land and the sky. I bet he does. I bet he think he does. Played in organizing, see the word played, and benefiting from the murder of our 35th president. Funny, they will use 35. This movie is 53 backwards, but it still means 8. It is the wisdom, the knowledge, and the comprehension of Aleister Crowley. And of course he would have the wisdom, knowledge, and comprehension of Aleister Crowley, because he's Aleister Crowley's son, Hitler. Now, Mike changes his name. He goes from someone on the microphone, because, he wrote a book, but he kept the 13. You see, the 1 and the 3, here, he becomes a god once he writes the book. He is a historian, which means you are a god. Look the word up, historian, keep looking, you'll find the word God. Played in organizing and benefit from the murder of a 35th president. Now this guy, he be my CIA, United States, see, on the Realist Report this coming Wednesday, and will be focusing United States on his book and Israel's central, the money, role in the JFK assassination conspiracy. Well, words than that, I am also working on a review of Final Judgment. Yes, I am. That I will post here later on this week. Well, it won't be posted my Final Judgment later this week, but I'm working on it. Now it goes down, but when you begin to read it, it's just, I read it to you because of all the codes just in the Babylon words alone. Prelude to leadership. That mean he did this shit before Hitler. Then they all came over here. And then in the summer of 1945, the European Diary of John F. Kennedy, the summer of 1945, because he is of the 9 heads, and he is also the foundation of Aleister Crowley, which consists of preface again. See, so now he is coming again. He's still his face, but he was here before as Hitler, but now he's here again as Kennedy. And there's your word written by this person, there's your number 13. It also has a 33 far away, but the number 13 is the Henderson, almost like Hankerson, huh? An introduction written by Huge Sydney. And see, this is a word you should look up. I'm not telling every fucking thing. Some things you need to find on your own. Oh, but I forgot. I don't even matter. I'm just talking to myself. Wow, I keep forgetting that. I have to remember I don't fucking matter. A well-respected journalist who knew President Kennedy quite well. So he knew President Kennedy quite well, which means he came over here from Germany with Kennedy and his dad and all the rest of the motherfuckers. President Kennedy was a reporter for Harris newspaper, first covering the San Francisco conference. Funny, San Francisco, which eventually established the United Nations. So Hitler is the one in charge of the United Nations. Isn't that something? And everyone was all clapping for that. I'm sure they were. I was a child. But this nigga, no matter where you went, he was on TV. You would see him. I think back, I see those days. I'm like, damn, he really needed attention as much as he was on TV, huh? Traveling to Western Europe, including England, Ireland, France, and Germany. Of course, he had to go back home to cover the situation there following the surrender of Germany at the end of World War II. Wow, you see how he made it full circle? He even went back to do the business of himself. That's how he knew so much. Oh, wow. Well, we all fooled, but I was a child. But I grew up in the belief, and I was fooled too. You know, because I had that belief, you know, about everything, you know, that the elder people said to me, you know, and I began to do my own research, and then most of all the elders who, you know, were telling me this and telling me that, and they had a belief system. Oh, okay, this is how it goes. Oh, yes, that's it. Well, when I stopped and I began to pull out my own